That's what happened.
So here's a thing that can be difficult. What about the idea of how do we know when to believe the person who's always on in the mode, in his mode?
The mode.
You know what I'm saying? How do we know when to
believe
him? Because he's always, it's just like Nola said to him, look, I know when you messing with my mind, and sometimes my mind need to be messed with, but today don't try to mess with my mind. Don't get in your mode on me. Like, how do I know when to believe a person like DeeJay? How do any of us know when to believe people who present in this manner? Because, okay, did he really learn it, or did he figure out a new hustle? Is he, is the new hustle being, now I'm a hustle of music, now I got more people to hustle, now
what do you mean? Like what? Basically being married?
No, I don't mean just restricted to that, but like we're talking about him changing. Like, did he change or did he not? Or was that it a real change?
That was probably what it was about, right? Because it's kind of a midlife crisis sort of a movie.
Maybe I'm just too cynical.
Like,
I don't know. I'm willing to accept that this could be a Cherie problem. I'm willing to accept that. But I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of anybody who can go through life and use and manipulate other people like this to the degree that he does, with little conscience for actually doing that. Like the opening scene is him trying to convince her to go out.
But the people do all sorts of things they don't want to do. When they had this one-on-one conversation, they were talking about, he was talking about how he was feeling. He was listening to her and stuff, right? And he, showing his emotional side, that he did have an emotional attachment to her. It wasn't just all.
Yeah, she's slow.
But yeah, so I guess if I can take any movie and then be like, okay, this character do this, so now I just don't like the character. I wouldn't like any character. Right? Almost any character, I just probably wouldn't like. So yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, I was a little distracted looking at the chat. This was asking about if our people slow and such, and I'm just wondering what character are we talking about. So did you? So we think that genuinely he cared about the people around him.
Yes.
Did he think that they were stepping stones?
So he's supposedly a pimp, and then, like he said, she's pregnant. She just staying up there, right? Not quote contributing. Right? He's still taking care of her. Quote, taking care of her, right? Even though, like, if I have a job and I can't work, I ain't working there no more. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Iceplay said I was slow. Is she slow? Yeah,
Whatever.
She's slow. Let me tell you something.
I know.
I'm confused. Wait. I may have misunderstood because I made a typo. I made a typo at the end. I said, who is slow? And I said their name. And then the word you, the letter U was at the end. That was a typo. So to be clear, that is a typo. I'm trying to understand who you're talking about. She must be slow. Like, what character are we talking about here? That's my question, Iceplay. Just to be clear on that.
So Tennessee girls say they didn't have anything to lose. They couldn't go any lower in life. Why not believe in DJ's vision and do what you could to help, especially when you see how passionate he was about it?
Maybe DeeJay should go start selling his booty.
What? That's not going to make money.
Go sell yourself.
Okay. Our analysis is getting real light.
Well, okay. Go ahead.
Like what? So, yeah. All right. Let's move to the next character then.
I mean, like, I don't really. Yeah, well, all right. I'm going to leave it where it is with DeeJay.
So who's next?
DeeJay and Nola's relationship, and we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but DeeJay and Nola's relationship in Hustle and Flow is complex. It's built on necessity and kind of this shared struggle. We were just talking about that, for something greater. And DeeJay, a small-time hustler, relies on Nola, and she's one of the women that he manages or whatever, but she's pregnant. But he relies on her and has in the past for financial support. So, and then she also babysits for Lex's son, so she's like doing her part as part of the family, even while she can't, go out on the streets or whatever. So initially their relationship, it seems transactional, right? She works for him and in return, he provides her with the shelter and the protection. However, as DeeJay pursues his dream of becoming a rapper, their relationship begins to evolve. you know. And after that happens, Nola, even though she was initially skeptical of DJ's aspirations, she becomes one of his biggest supporters. And she not only provides, things that help them around to help make this happen, but she participates in his music career. She got, was able to secure the microphone that let DJ record the demo that he needed to record. And so the moment is just like a shift in their dynamic, where she transitions from just being one of DJ's workers to somebody, with a personal stake in his dream, because it's partly hers. Like everybody's in a desperate situation. The people in the comments have mentioned that, but
that's what
it's a
Tennessee
desperate
girl was
situation.
just talking about.
Oh, where? Oh, they didn't have anything to lose.
Well, you
Okay.
said sell his booty. So.
Well, I mean, I said
Like,
I don't want to defend the statement, but I have a problem with encouraging other people to do what you're not willing to do. If we
encouraging
all
or
going
what
to
this character
sell
did.
ourselves, then everybody should do it. Okay, so Clay Richard says men don't sell as well as women. Okay, I mean, I don't know the market, so I can't speak
everybody
intelligently
knows
on that. But
that has nothing to do specifically with the market. If you know about relationships and sex,
well,
a woman can just go anywhere and get it. So, like,
yeah, so I agree with that. So, well, I don't want to go here with who could be his customers. But what I'll say is that was why I said that. My point is just the bottom line was that you're asking or encouraging something of other people that is not a sacrifice you yourself have to make. And then we could extrapolate that to other situations as well. If you tell me to go out there and let's just say, I don't know, let's take something very common like CNA work. If you telling me to go lift this heavy patient and break my back and, whatever, and use your ergonomic. Then later I have back problems and stuff.
Then I can tell you why that person chose to do that, and I can tell you why the supervisor asked them to do it. Right? Or I could just say, yeah, that's wrong.
That's true. So, as we get to, I'm just kind of laughing at this, but But as we get to the end of the film, Nola does assert herself as more than just this accessory, right? Because she makes it happen. She, with his, as we pointed out earlier, with what he told her to do, she's able to bring home the bacon and get that music on the radio and stuff like that. And so they ultimately have a partnership. And he did call, what was the phrase he called her?
Which one? Which one?
I'm trying to remember
Nola?
his investor, yeah.
His primary investor.
Yeah, that.
What's the question?
That was it. Like, I just wanted to make a statement about the primary investor.
Yeah, so that was to gas her up, to make her feel like she has contributed somehow, because, like, hey, we need some money. She went and got the money. Mm-hmm. So, and he needed her around, I guess, for that, right?
Yep. So that's what happened. She made it happen. So when we ask about like who is Nola, I found myself feeling very, 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 very sad. I'm laughing in the comments because somebody just was going way off the rails and just had to get dismissed. But and then of course the chatters are laughing at it or whatever, being that person being a troll or whatever. But it is, and they say whoop that troll. That's hilarious.
She couldn't sing and she wanted to help.
Right. Virgo so the thing said that. Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted some business about herself. And he had the reason he needed the mic was because that he had whatever vision he had or whatever he wanted to go and dream that he was working towards. And she was talking about everybody got something going on but me. Right. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to be a part of something, and a lot of times we talk about what people envision, right? So kids growing up, what do they think they can strive to be and where their inspiration come from? All she knew was what she saw in that household, and he gave her something, right? He's doing this now, maybe I can be involved in this somehow. She was happy to turn off the fan.
And it was hard to watch her want to be part of the decision makers and not be included, right? Because there's this a scene where they're all out on the porch, and Shelby is talking about, they're actually talking about the Southern rap and how it's going to